Rebels from the Freedom of Russia movement, a Ukraine-based paramilitary unit, have burned dozens of locomotives on Russian territory. Ukraine's main intelligence directorate, known as HUR, reported this in its statement. The attacks targeted a train used to transport weapons, ammunition, and equipment for the war in Ukraine. Video footage showing the paramilitary unit setting fire to locomotives has been shared in social media platforms. The incendiary cocktails of the partisans scorched the control and power systems of dozens of machines responsible for moving military cargo, HUR reported. Such strikes have significantly slowed the movement of Russian resources and affected the stability of supply to Russian units. Formed in March 2022 by Russian citizens who are against Putin's war of invasion in Ukraine, Freedom of Russia rebels have engaged in a number of operations on Russian strategic facilities. The attack on locomotives comes amid Ukraine's intensified strikes on Russia's military and strategic facilities aimed at weakening Russia's war efforts. On Sunday, Ukrainian forces struck Twop's refinery, Russia's largest oil facility in the Black Sea, causing the suspension of the facility's crude processing. The situation remains tense in the contact line that stretches nearly 1,250 kilometers, having grown by roughly 200 kilometers over the past year. Ukrainian troops have launched a drone strike on a Russian dugout where Russian soldiers were stationed in Kursk region. The attack has set the area surrounding the dugout ablaze. Video footage released in social media shows strong fire and panicked Russian soldiers who are attempting to leave the trench that is surrounded by fire. Attempts by Russians to extinguish the fire fails. The situation in Russia's border Kursk region remains tense. Ukrainian troops staged a large-scale incursion into the Kursk region in August last year in an attempt to create a buffer zone to prevent cross-border attacks by Russian forces. Ukrainian forces continue cross-border operations aimed at disrupting Russian logistics, drawing troops away from the Eastern Front in Ukraine. These actions have included drone attacks, sabotage operations, and periodic incursions near the border districts. Russian authorities in the region frequently report Ukrainian drone attacks on fuel depots, military and energy infrastructure. Some villages close to the Ukrainian border have been evacuated intermittently due to shelling and fear of escalation. Electricity and communication outages happen from time to time as a result of strikes on energy facilities.
У меня тут наушники еще мои оригинальные лежат.
Чё? Давай, Жень, компьютер возьми, главное. Стой, 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 стой. Куда вы прыгаете, сука? Валится, сука, все. Канистру убирайте оттуда, сходу убирайте все. С водой, канистру. С водой? Лей туда воду. Точно с водой? Да, да. Лей, лей, лей воду, туши. Туши, туши вход.
Да, разгорелась.
Да. Туши, туши вход. Стой, подожди. Давай туда, заходи, дым валит. Так.
Дым уже сюда попер, нахуй. Баллон здесь с газом, нахуй.
Где?
Здесь стоит.
Затаскивай его сюда, вовнутрь. Воду не дотянется, нахуй. Дым сюда попер, нахуй. Приема дело. Че там, Ваня, пизда? Че? Давай выбегай! Пошел! Ой, бать.
Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered officials on Wednesday to submit proposals for a possible resumption of nuclear tests in response to President Donald Trump's statements last week that appeared to suggest the U.S. will restart its own atomic tests. According to Associated Press speaking at a meeting with members of his Security Council, Putin reaffirmed his earlier statement that Moscow will only restart nuclear tests if the U.S. does so first. But he directed the defense and foreign ministries and other government agencies to analyze Washington's intentions and work out proposals for resuming nuclear weapons tests. Trump appeared to signal last month that the U.S. will resume testing nuclear weapons for the first time in 3 decades, saying it would be on an equal basis with Russia and China. But U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said Sunday that new tests of the U.S. nuclear weapons system ordered by Trump will not include nuclear explosions. Trump made the announcement on Thursday in South Korea days after Putin announced successful tests of the prospective nuclear-powered and nuclear-capable cruise missile and underwater drone. The U.S. military also has regularly tested nuclear-capable weapons, but it has not detonated the weapons since 1992. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which the U.S. signed but did not ratify, has been observed since its adoption by all countries possessing nuclear weapons, North Korea being the only exception.
Как вы знаете, только что вернулась из поездки в Китайскую Народную Республику.
Из этого вытекает, что мы должны поддерживать наш ядерный потенциал в готовности к нанесению противника неприемлемого ущерба в любых условиях обстановки и действовать адекватно в ответ на шаги Вашингтона в интересах гарантированного обеспечения безопасности нашей страны. С учетом вышеизложенного считаю целесообразным подготовку к полномасштабным ядерным испытаниям начать немедленно. Готовность сил и средств центрального полигона на архипелаге Новая Земля позволяет обеспечить ее проведение в сжатые сроки.
Которому несколько раз заявил, что Земля может...
В этой связи я поручаю Министерству иностранных дел, Министерству обороны Российской Федерации, специальным службам и гражданским ведомствам, соответствующим гражданским ведомствам, сделать все для того, чтобы собрать дополнительную информацию по этому вопросу, провести ее анализ на площадке Совета Безопасности и внести согласованные предложения о возможном начале работ по подготовке испытаний ядерного оружия.